not going to give a speech. I just really want to thank Kansas City Community College and the Kansas Speech Communication Association for your support, for your award in this. I would have one piece of advice to the Kansas Speech Communication Association, and that is to change your name to the Kansas Communication Association, or maybe the Kansas Physics Association or something. There've got to be more than 20 KSCAs on the web anyway. Not all of them that you want to be associated with. But I want to thank my family. I'll introduce my wife Sally, my son Matthew from Austin, Texas, my granddaughter Maddie from Seattle, Washington, who is a freshman at the University of Kansas this year, for the support that the family has given me over the years. In particular, I don't know how I would still be around if it weren't for Sally. And finally, I want to thank my colleagues in the Department of Communication at Emporia State. Steve mentioned all the places I've worked. I've worked at a lot of schools, Northern Illinois and Washington State, Southern Illinois, Mississippi State, and I've never had a better group of colleagues than I've had at Emporia State. And that includes Steve, and that includes Kenna, and that includes lots of them who aren't here today. But it was a remarkable experience in this day and age, really, when you can have colleagues that you feel free to talk with, not only about the things you want to do, but the things that you're not very sure about. And it is a supportive environment. And if I was able to accomplish anything at Emporia State that qualifies me for this award, it is probably as much because of my colleagues as anything else. And I sincerely thank you, I really do. As I said, I'm speechless. When I retired, Steve didn't really try to talk me into not retiring, but he wanted to know why I was retiring. I says, I've lost a step. Well, in the last year, I've lost a whole bunch of steps. So it's time for me to sit down.
Congratulations, Dr. McGlone's son Andy was one of my first college debate partners at Emporia State, and so
For God's
it was
sake,
great.
call me Ed.
Dr. Ed was, he was always, see, still a force to be reckoned with. Congratulations, I'm glad your family was able to come in town and bring you here, so very well deserved. Our next speaker to introduce the high school Hall of Fame inductee is Miss Vicki Fellers. Vicki.
When I first met Cindy Burgett, I was reminded of the old saying that then became a song, "Fools rush in where angels fear to tread." Yes, Cindy had foolishly taken the debate coaching job at Washburn Rural High School, following the coach that no one should have to follow and whose name cannot be spoken. Years later, we now know that we who doubted her are the fools. For Cindy has certainly spread her wings across this state, becoming the coach that the rest of us fear and love, joke about and respect, and envy and emulate. Since starting at Washburn Rural in 1988, I believe it was, Cindy has qualified, by my count, at least 27 policy debate teams, and it may be 28 or 29, to the NFL National Tournament. 4 of these teams have finished in the top 10 at the national tournament, and 3 of her debaters have earned top 10 speaker awards. She has coached her squad to 3 School of Excellence awards, an honor reserved for only about 20 schools each year of the 900 plus schools at the tournament. In state, her teams have earned state championship awards numerous times, as well as winning the prestigious DCI championship more than any other school. But Cindy does so much more than just coach winning teams. She has been a member of the Flint Hills NFL District Committee for over a decade, serving twice as the district chair. She's hosted the state debate tournament and the DCI tournament repeatedly, and each spring, instead of taking a weekend off, she hosts the 4A state speech tournament. She co-authored the 2008 policy debate topic, wrote a debate textbook for NFL, is part of the 6A debate tab room, and has worked in the NFL National Tournament Policy Debate Tab Room for years. We've enjoyed her presentations here at KSCA, often a discussion of the current debate topic. So I think it's about time that KSCA catches up with the rest of the world in honoring Cindy. She is a 5-diamond coach in the NFL, a member of the DCI Hall of Fame, twice recognized as Coach of the Year by DCI, and was the 2004 Educator of Excellence at Washburn Rural, which netted her a 3-month lease on a Toyota Corolla. And just a couple of years ago, a former student's essay about Cindy earned her a Distinguished High School Teacher Award. I believe it was the University of Tulsa. There we go. The drive and energy that Cindy brings to coaching also shows up in her other classes. She's launched an honors humanities program at Washburn that's considered one of the finest in the state. It feeds students into the AP Art History class, which she teaches, and teaches so well that her students consistently score 5s on the AP test. She's now teaching the Theory of Knowledge class for the International Baccalaureate program at Washburn Rural, one of the most demanding teaching loads there is in the IB program. And she does this while still teaching and coaching debate in a 0 hour, no less. She is the academic teacher who pushes students to do their best. We all know Cindy is a warm and considerate person. She loves to laugh and to tell stories and to pull a practical joke or two on others. When the debaters forget to put away the computers, they run laps for laptops on the stairs. The squad dress code is presented as a song, No Pants, which is for the girls, not the boys. And when good fortune does not shine on a team, she usually just says, "Sucks to be you." But those kids know she cares. Her relationships with her kids are lifelong. She's made wedding quilts and baby quilts for former students. She's applauded their shows and cheered their games. She's cried tears of joy and sorrow for her kids. They know their mama cares. And she's also challenged us. We may not want to hear her remind us that we have to be good stewards of our activity, but we know she's right. And we have to try a little bit harder to be the better coaches she's pushing us to be. We don't want to take on those jobs that she's done for years, like organize the DCI tournament, host the state tournament, and bake pies to make tournaments more fun. But we need to. Just the way she pushes her students to do their best, she pushes us to be and do better. In a moment of reflection, Cindy once wrote, "We should give back to the things that mean the most to us and stay in touch with the people who shape our lives in positive ways." Cindy's coaching and teaching certainly demonstrate this ideal. She's devoted her life to debate in Kansas and given much to our community. She's a steady friend, loyal to a fault, and an angel on the shoulder that many of us need. Please welcome into our KSCA Hall of Fame, my friend Cindy Burgett.
That was awfully nice. You know, paybacks, you know what they say about them. And after talking about Coach's porn night a couple of years ago, when I talked about Vicki, I thought, oh my. But Vicki is always the kindest of people and a good friend. Thank you all so very much for this kind award and for your kind words, Vicki. That was very sweet. 28 years and 50 weeks ago, today actually, I attended my very first debate tournament as a coach. And I was told that I was the dumbest person in the state of Kansas for having taken this job, which Vicki alluded to. There were coaches who took bets on how long I would last, not if I would last, but how long, and I believe Mark Kopp for one, because he said I might make it to October. And I can't say that I'm the smartest person in the state of Kansas even today. I'm not. I'm probably not even the smartest, I know I'm not the smartest person in this room. But it hasn't worked out all that bad. I have something for you to think about in case my speech gets lengthy. It's not that long, but yesterday we had our novice thing at Wash Monroe, and Mr. Ellis and I ran trivia for the novices. So I have a trivia question for you on your table to think about while I'm talking about this. Put these 4 things in order from earliest to latest. The 2-speaker state tournament debuts, the year I started coaching debate, rebuttals go from 4 minutes to 5 minutes, and cross-examination was added to high school debate. You think about that while I talk. So I thought about what I would say this evening to you all, and the one thing I really want to talk about, and I think that a lot of you have also mentioned in other speeches, and I think that Vicki alluded to as well, was family and the idea of family. My own immediate family is pretty small. My mom is here tonight, God bless her for coming. I wouldn't be here today without her support, because otherwise I wouldn't have had clean laundry for 29 years at least. Many of you have met her, some of you have not. She tried to come to a tournament once. She went to Shawnee Heights because it was close to our home. She walked in the front door, they grabbed her to judge a round. She'd never seen a round before. Scared her to death, she'd never come back. She gave up coming to tournaments. She's been a great support, and I really appreciate all that she's done. But I also have a bigger family, and I think you all know this. Our community is a lot of family as well, and you know, it starts with our squads. All of us know that our best squads, maybe our most competitive squads, but certainly the most fun squads to coach, are the ones that treat each other a little bit like family, not too incestuous, and also that they love each other. Sometimes they fight like brothers and sisters. But there they are. And sometimes we offer those kids the only decent and semi-functional family they know. Some of them will call you mom and dad, sometimes because they think of you as mom and dad, and sometimes because they're so angry with you that that's the first thing that comes out of their mouth. That's happened to me. We laugh with them and we cry with them, and we scold them, and we celebrate their victories and mourn their losses, try to make them better people for all of the above. As if they were our own children, and they're great. But I also think, and you may think it's cheesy, but I also think of you guys as family. We aren't really family, of course, and none of you could really replace my mom or my brother or my father. But still, I spend as much time with you as I spend with them. I've had, in this family, I have some mean older sisters who I wouldn't trade for the world. They have taught me some important lessons, and I would always want them in a knife fight or just to have my back.
Got you covered.
Thank you.
Got you covered. Your sister Gail is at the debates in Hutchinson.
Like family, we don't get to choose each other. We get what we take, and yet there's a lot of love. I have family clowns who tell the best stories or do the goofiest things or dance like monkeys at tournaments, and that's part of the reason I love to go to tournaments. They tell great stories at dinner. Well, you know, for us, dinner is the hospitality lounge anyway. I've been maddeningly frustrated by some of this family. I've also been taught great lessons about coaching and about life. I've been charmed and infuriated by them. Sometimes the same exact thing has both charmed and infuriated me. It's a messy family, and we don't always get along, but I spend as much time with you all as I've spent with my own family, and I don't regret a moment of it. I've enjoyed it all. So thanks to my mom for making sure I wasn't the stinky kid in the family. And thank you all for being family to me as well. Thank you especially for this honor, which means a great deal to me. I know it means that I maybe wasn't the dumbest person in the state of Kansas. I've come a long way from that day so many, many years ago. So thank you very, very much. Now, do you know the answer, or would you like the answer to the trivia question? I don't know the exact years, but I know that sometime between 68 and 72, we added cross-examination to policy debate in high school. In 1980.
It was my senior year, 1968.
68, all right.
Just saying.
I got you. In 1986, I began coaching the Washington High School debate squad. In, I believe it's 1993, the two-speaker state championship first debuted as a provisional tournament. And rebuttals went from 4 to 5 minutes first, I'm sorry, that happened in like 88, I think. And then finally, the two-speaker state champion. So hopefully some of you got that right. No one on the entire squad could reason that out. It was a good trivia question. So anyway, thank you again so very much. It's a great honor to have been honored by you all tonight.
I grew up competing in the Flint Hills, so I like to think I'm a survivor, because it was the Flint Hills of Burgett and Naylor and Kopfer and Wood and Comus. And my senior year, which talks about family, we had an Uncle Jay. And the Flint Hills was always a good time. But I will say this, like Mr. Bodie, one of my finest hours might have been a poetry round when I was a freshman in the gymnasium at Hayden High School that Cindy judged, and I hope she's put this out of her memory, because someone let me do that wonderful poem that's yet to win high school nationals, Casey at the Bat. So, Cindy,
I thought I had.
yeah, you thought you had bad taste. Cindy's clearly a survivor, because 20 years ago she had to sit through that. Congratulations, very well deserved. A couple of folks that I would like to thank before we close tonight. None of this would be possible. We love having you here and we love hosting. We hope you continue to have a good time while you're here this weekend. The other two in the line of presidency, the president of the organization, Mr. David Ralph from Seaman High School. Ton of work. And Mr. Dustin Remy, who is the second vice president, we will be in charge of this shindig next year from Topeka High School. If you're one of the other KSCA officers, would you please stand so people can see you and give you a round of applause? For KSCA officers. Lots of hard work, lots of emails between these folks. I had to find something, a note that Ralph sent me about the banquet, and I did an email search yesterday. I just did Ralph plus banquet, or not yesterday, about a week ago, Ralph plus banquet, and 200 emails came up since March. So it should give you some idea of the work that they've put in, and so thank you very much. It's an honor to host this. I appreciate you all having confidence in electing me a couple of years ago, because that meant you knew I was going to have to do this banquet at some point. I appreciate the confidence. I know Vicki has said before, we work through the week to live for the weekend, that we are among great people on the weekend. We get to see our friends. We get to see people who are some of the most brilliant people that are walking the planet. And I'm truly humbled to be a colleague and a part of that group with you all, and especially the high school folks who I don't see nearly enough because I'm traveling on my circuit, but just a chance to sit and talk with you the other night. We had a chance to sit with Mel and Pam and Russ and just chat, and that was a great time. And there might have been some wine consumed, but having the opportunity to be around other people in this activity that are as brilliant as the people that are sitting out here tonight, I wish more of my colleagues would take the opportunity to be a part of that, because especially at the college level, I can tell you, we depend upon you who are at the high school level, and my other college folks who are here tonight that are my colleagues can tell you that you're the reason why we're successful. The high school coaches who are sitting here tonight, you're the reason why, because we get the best kids when we recruit kids from Kansas high schools, and those are folks that you've spent 4 years working with, and so by the time they get to us, they know what they're doing, and we're very thankful for that. I'm very thankful for that. Keep doing the work that you're doing. A couple of guests I would like to mention tonight who will be doing a presentation tomorrow. Pam and Joe Wyckoff from Minnesota are here, and they will be doing a presentation tomorrow morning after the KSCA, or the KSHA rules meeting and the liaison meeting, so stick around, it's going to be a great time, I've heard. No pressure. But we are glad you're here. And I believe that draws to a conclusion our banquet for tonight. Thank you all for coming, and please continue to enjoy yourselves, and if we can do anything for you while you're here, please let us know. Thank you.